overcoming any challenge or hurdle starts with the fact that in a world where everybody wants to talk, you listen. The biggest hurdle in entertainment industry is that even a 4-year-old can tell you what entertainment is, what is his likes and dislikes. So entertainment and marketing is almost same.
Welcome to all of you to the brand new episode of Icons Behind Brand video interview series Back to Basics in the Time of Uncertainty, where we are going to have series of conversation with some of the leading minds in the business. And today I have got an opportunity to sit with a very experienced and a stalwart of the marketing industry, Mr. Saurabh Varma, who is the Chief Marketing Officer in Inox. With over 24 years of experience, he handles pan-India marketing, brand and content operations. He has adorned multiple hats such as content creation, production, filmmaking, movie production, strategy development, advertising and many more. He has been part of more than 750 films in almost all Indian languages, and has written and directed feature films including 7 Hours to Go, Mickey Virus and Marathi film Vicky Wellinkar, which has been streamed in various OTT platforms. He has written and directed digital short films, TV shows, music videos, and was associated with Reliance Entertainment and PVR Cinemas in the past. Let's hear it from Saurabh.
A warm welcome to you.
Thank you so much.
So, this is the industry, Saurabh, where I am also deeply connected, very personally connected. And I think this has been a major missing during this time, like 1.5 years we have been missing going to the big cinemas, So we are eagerly waiting for the time to come to normal, the fun time, the family time, friends time. As Inox, the tagline says, best always comes after the intermission, right? So we are eagerly waiting for the best to come here, Saurabh.
So Saurabh, what is the impact of this pandemic situation on consumer in past 12-15 months? And how do you foresee the situation in coming 6 months down the line?
I guess from an Indian scenario, what we were seeing was that, there was a regular grind we all were stuck in. Monday to Saturday working, and in India, you also work on Saturday. So Monday to Saturday working, you get one weekend, you go and watch a movie. And that drill was going on for years, in fact, decades. And, people were just running and, trying to score the urgent things. And there was not too much of focus on the important things. And I feel that the important things are more important than the urgent things. And urgent things which are, very urgent are not generally a long-term goals. The pandemic came and everything stopped, and it was like somebody slapped you and you put you down in a corner, and that's what exactly started happening. And that's when you realize that there's so much more you can do with the marketing, with cinemas, with films, and even consumers. How they are reacting to the OTT platforms and everything. So I guess the whole pandemic has made us sit down. We were running so fast for decades, and suddenly we sat down. And we started noticing a lot of things. There's a lot of change which has happened. The digital revolution get enhanced post the pandemic because of, we pondering through everything. The infrastructure is growing. The appetite for content and entertainment is growing. So all those things are going to impact us in a good way post pandemic, and I think there's a time when that change is happening.
That's right. There is a huge shift in the mindset.
You have experienced almost 2 decades in the marketing industry. So according to your observation, what has changed when you started your career and with the today's time?
So I guess I work in an entertainment industry which works on myths, and marketing also works on a lot of myths. So what I've noticed is that there was a time when people used to adapt this strategy called spray and pray, and they used to spray all marketing activities all over, whether it was outdoor, whether it was newspaper, whether it was radio things, or theatrical publicity, or all kinds of stuff which were more physical. where there was a lot of expense, not just in buying media, but also, creating stuff like, outdoor flexes being printed and installations and things like that. But or a newspaper ad where you get it designed from an ad agency and things like that. But how many people are reading it? What is the impact? Are people actually noticing your ad? All that measurability was not there. I think that change is something which is very, very interesting. That today with the digital revolution, you can't just see that your ad is being noticed by people, but you can also notice that how many people saw it, how many people got engaged to it, and how many people actually went and clicked that link, and there was a transaction or there was a revenue being spent on that. So I think that's a big revolution. From spray and pray, we are going precise. We are geo-targeting. We're trying to understand our consumer, and we started knowing our consumer, which was a big thing missing, at least in India, where we did not know who we were targeting. We were speculating that TV है, ये audience को cater करता है, ये तो गांव की audience को करता है, या films, Salman Khan fans only come from this area. But now we have things where we can measure and we can actually tabulate, which can only make our content bigger and better. And one day we're going to be, I'm hopefully making content which is bigger than Hollywood.
That's right. Rightly pointed out on this thing. Like, instead of just assuming things, now we know the real things, like what the consumer is thinking. So the communication has become a two-way process now.
Yes,
so
yes.
We are actually in the conversation mode with the consumer.
Yes.
And what is the core DNA of marketing, which has never changed?
I guess not just in marketing, but in all aspects. Even when you're doing photography or cinematography, the camera is going to change. The technology is going to change. It's going to get enhanced. But I think it's the man behind the camera which makes a lot of difference. Similarly, it's not just those marketing tactics. Today, whatever the world is doing, everything is there on the digital network. But how you execute it, how is your team, how much insecure or secure you are, that is going to get evident by the way you're going to play. So I think the team is the most important component, which was important at that time when things were not that digital savvy, to now post-pandemic where things are going to become much, much more digital savvy. So the human resource is the most important element, which will never change.
Absolutely. Which is the creativity, which you cannot, take it from the tech and other things. So the human touch and creativity, which is irreplaceable. We're touching the human and emotion.
Mind behind the machine. It's the man behind the machine or the woman.
Right. Totally agree on that. There are tools, but how we are using the tools and how we are putting our thought process through those tools, that actually makes a difference.
Yeah.
What got you hooked to this domain among all other domains out there? What is your motivation behind this?
So I guess when our generation started working in any business, we didn't have a choice. Today the generation has a lot of choice that they can opt for something. They can go to animation, gaming, films, cafe, coffee day, hotels. But I come from a generation where you didn't have that choice, and whatever job you got, you were just trying to work on that. So I started by printing popcorn bags, and I did a specialization in book publishing. But the fact was that I was open to learning everything. So from publishing, I went to designing. From designing, I started doing event management designing. From event management designing to designing. And one day, I got a job offer. I was so into client servicing that the client himself offered me a job. And I joined PVR in 1997 when the first multiplex was being opened. So, we were more child of destiny. We were given something and we just latched onto it. But today's generation can actually pre-plan their career. For me, I'm blessed because you're dealing with content which is changing every week. Every Friday, there's a new content coming. With OTT, it's not just Friday. It could be Sunday. It could be almost every day. So, there's so many things you can learn with the way the content is going to be is coming, and it's evolving in Indian cinema. So we are blessed, and I guess after 24 years in this business, I think I can call myself a student who's learning every day, and the consumer habits are changing every day.
Keeping the lifelong learning as a core philosophy. I think that is the key to success.
Yes, and you do it for yourself. You don't do it for others, but you do it for yourself, because the excitement of learning as a student should never die in you, because that's where the whole fun part is.
That is what keeps you, youth and ever young, right?
Yes.
What has been the biggest marketing hurdle in your industry?
So I think the biggest hurdle in entertainment industry is that even a 4-year-old can tell you what entertainment is, what is his likes and dislikes. So entertainment and marketing is almost same, that everybody knows what it is. And in spite of the fact that everybody knows what marketing and films are, it's very difficult to make good films. It's very difficult to market films. So it's because it's simple. It's the most difficult part. What people most of the time forget is that for everything, for the overnight success, it takes years and years of strategy planning, working, and you always go wrong. So you go wrong, you learn from it, you try to do it again, maybe go right, and again keep on trying. So that trying and keep on pursuing the task is the most important task, which people don't understand. And at times, on an impulse, they decide on logos, designs, advertising campaigns, marketing campaigns, and that's something we should not do.
That's right. So when the target audience is everybody, and you have to make everybody happy, so that is where the biggest challenge comes up. You can't make everybody happy, but here we are trying to make almost everybody happy.
So in fact, you need to have a specific target audience, and if you don't have it, then for example, when I look at a Hindi film, I look at a small town like Meerut, a girl and a boy studying in a college there, and a college in Mumbai, a girl and a boy studying there. So these are 4 imaginary people I work on. So that if I'm making content, these are the 4 people I'm targeting. Would all these 4 like what I'm making? Will they accept it? Are they prone to? So I don't go wide and think, oh, how will it do in Rajasthan, Bihar, Calcutta, or whatever. You just target. You make your own target group and focus on them and try to create content around that. You still may go wrong, but at least you have a focus and you have a strategy.
And how did you overcome it?
I guess overcoming any challenge or hurdle starts with the fact that in a world where everybody wants to talk, you listen more. So you have to have that ability of listening and adapting what is good and throwing away what is not relevant. So in the noise and in the gibberish of a lot of people trying to give you gyan, you should have that ability of understanding that what is relevant information for you and what is not relevant. When you get the relevant information, you adapt it with your strategy, because if everybody is trying to give you gyan, you should take it, but have that ability to understand that what works for you the best. So that's one thing. The second thing is obviously there's no compensation for experience. So you keep on trying, keep on doing things, and the more you do it, the more you learn and the more the experience happens. So your decision making happens very, very fast. And the third most important thing is that most of the companies suffer from indecisiveness. They take a lot of time in saying a yes or a no. And, that decision keeps on getting pending. So I think quick decisions are the most important thing for marketing strategies. So that's something which everybody should work on. Right or wrong is later, but decision making is extremely important on time and on a timely basis.
So yes. I could relate with your previous question where, previously we used to, just throw the marketing strategy, whereas now we are listening to the consumer more and we are putting the relevant content for them.
Yes.
In what ways your marketing strategy changes in pre-COVID, today's scenario, and in the future?
Pre-COVID, everybody was running, so there was no time to stop and ponder. So during this lockdown, everybody is pondering. And post-lockdown, I think there's going to be a definite change in consumer behavior. They are now exposed to a lot of international content. People I know and people, we've been surveying around are exposed to Spanish, German, American, also being presented in Hindi dub and things like that. Telugu cinema, Tamil cinema, Malayalam cinema, which is pretty evolved in that sense. So people are exposed to global content. So no longer is the time when people are going to, accept just a lousy film with 4 songs and lots of action. They want a little more content and they are getting into the detail of how the film is going to, is it worth more than money? It will be more the time they're going to be spending. So that's going to be very, very important. So people have to focus on all those things. And there's something called a class in a film. You need to have a class. You can't just have a, massy, shoddy film and assume that the people are going to watch it. People are so smart today that they see a 2-minute trailer and in 10 seconds they make up their mind. So marketing plays an important role, but obviously content is going to be extremely important as well.
Absolutely. The patience and the tolerance has also reduced because we have a huge, amount of content everywhere floating. As a consumer, I also try to, get the information first. How is the movie? How is the web series? Then I'm going to invest my time on that. It has to be, very relevant and very classy, as you said. Saurabh, completely relate to that.
There's another example is that we opened a cinema in Gurgaon in RD Mall. Now it's a Insignia cinema. It's a luxury cinema, and it opened during the pandemic. So we didn't spend too much in launching the cinema. We didn't do any star visit. We did not do anything. But just by a few people going there, their own Facebook pages and their appreciation for the cinema and their own social media platforms has helped us get in more audience. So I think the word of mouth today has become extremely important, bring in audience. So if you have a superior product, I think today the consumer itself has the power to viral your good product, or talk good or talk bad about it. So you need to be very, very careful on what we are doing. The whole world is listening. We just need to be sure that you can't now slide the dirt under the carpet. You have to make sure that extremely good consumer experience is there for the world to see.
Absolutely. So there is no replacement for the word of mouth marketing.
There is a huge shift which has happened in consumer mindset, in their buying behavior, and in their lifestyle. Also, the dynamics of marketing has taken a big shift. So you as a marketeer, how open you are to adapt the new medium of marketing?
In my mind, if we don't adapt to new marketing methods, anybody who doesn't do that is going to die. So I think the new methods are extremely important, and marketing is all about evolution of new strategies. So there was a time when people used to print leaflets and put it in the newspapers, assuming that people are going to see it. So they used to distribute 4,000 or 10,000 leaflets and assume that 500 people are going to come back with an offer, or a pizza strategy. But today you have emailers, which I'm not sure how many people read. But there's so many digital strategies that the same communication or the same style can be adapted into 10 different ways. But everything costs money, and today the price is per consumer. So there's so much to learn from the digital expansion. Unfortunately, there are not too many digital agencies, at least in the entertainment space, who can do justice to this kind of a science or this kind of a marketing. So there's a huge demand for people who make sense and people who talk out of experience. So I think that's going to be very, very interesting to see.
Would you like to share some of the tips, tricks, hacks, and knowledge point with our young CMOs who are building their team?
The first and the most simplest point which I would like to come across to any marketing person is that be sincere. You don't need to exaggerate to the client or your bosses or something. You don't need to, if you think that the achievability is 10, you go by, the achievability is 7 or 8. You don't need to be too pompous in saying, oh, we'll achieve 20 or 30 or 40, because that works for a very short period. So sincerity is one of the extremely important points in doing it. Secondly, if you don't know a thing, because even 24 years of experience of mine, there are some times when young blood comes and they give you something which you feel, oh, I never thought of it like that. So be open for accepting new ideas, accepting new suggestions. It can come from anybody. It could be coming from your junior to junior to junior to even your peon who serves your tea. So be open and keep your eyes and ears open. So that's one thing. And the third is research. A lot of people don't do research, and even while doing a presentation or pitching it to the client, they don't go to the client's background. So understanding the psyche of the person you are addressing, whether it's your target audience or your client or your boss, that's extremely important. And that understanding can only happen and only come with experience. So listen more and speak less is the third mantra I'd like.
So I think the authenticity and being real is something which is going to help you as a person to learn more. And
plus the world sees you. You can't pretend for long.
That's right.
Everybody is transparent in today's world.
Now we are moving to a very interesting section, which is rapid fire round, where you need to answer with one word.
Name a brand other than your own which you admire.
I guess there are several brands, but I think Nike is one of those brands. It's just a sports shoe, but the way they keep on inventing it, and the sign, the tick sign, and just do it, it's become an international icon. With something as simple as a shoe thing. And the second is, I think, Apple, the way, the price doesn't matter with that product. No matter what you price it, not many people even see the features. They just want to buy the next version of that product.
So next, any book or podcast you want to recommend for the marketeers?
I think the marketeers have to have two aspects of in their strategy. One, obviously, is the execution and the strategy and the planning, and the other is the creative process. How is the advertising going to be? How things are going to be? So I would recommend, every marketer to go through the Edward de Bono creative thinking process. For me, Edward de Bono changed my life. For others, it could be something else as well.
So that is going to be my next read. So one of your hidden talent, which nobody knows.
So I'm a painter, I'm a designer, I'm a film director. So perhaps I'm the only one in Bollywood who has directed a film, written a film, and also marketed and distributed and designed posters and promos of a film. So I guess it is hidden because I'm a jack of all trades and master of none. So
that is what, it takes you to a long run, a self-reliant person.
Yeah, but I would not advise it to the next generation, because there's a lot of time being wasted in learning each and every aspect. But like I said, our generation never had that choice. So we kept on learning and kept on, whatever was thrown at you, we just try to address everything. So in that process, learned everything.
So one thing about you that surprises people.
So I don't have any formal training in anything. I'm not an MBA. I'm not, it's like I've directed 3 films, but I don't have any directorial training. I don't have any writing training. I've done advertising campaign. I'm a graphic designer, but I don't have any formal training in anything. So I'm a postgraduate, but in book publishing. That's a different profession. So whatever I've learned till now, or whatever I've been doing, painting, designing, I've technically, my only teacher is YouTube. That's something which is pretty interesting.
Saurabh would like to know, who is your biggest professional mentor?
I guess for anybody who's been working in the business, I think it's very difficult to pinpoint on one mentor. When you start your business, the first boss and the person you work with, I think he or she impresses you the most. So mentors keep on changing. And like I said in my previous answer is that, the biggest mentor today is YouTube and Google. So, all the information is there, and whether you want to, pursue your passion, painting or music or anything.
Your message to the aspiring marketeers.
I think one of the most important thing is that you need to have the trait of a leader. Even when you're starting small or coming at from a grassroots level, I think you need to be secure with your own space. Not everybody is a magician, not everybody has all the skills, but you slowly and steadily learn. So do not be insecure about what others are doing or what peers are doing. Be aware of what they're doing and try to compete with that. But always keep your mind open, because mental health is going to be an extremely important component in the future learning and the future growth. You can't just sit idle and think that I'm the least, I'm the worst or whatever, because that clouds your mind. So just keep on competing. Whether you're selling coffee, whether you're in a call center or whatever, think of yourself as a boxer who's there in the arena to fight the opponent. And you may lose one match, but you may win the other one. So keep your mental peace. And the moment you're mentally peaceful, I think you will learn. Others may learn faster, but eventually you will. Like a tortoise and a hare story. No matter how fast the hare is, but if you keep on pursuing, sometimes you'll win the race.
This is the time only our mental strength, which is actually helping since a very long time, especially right now where we are hearing a lot of things every day. Very close people, they are going, so this is the time where the mental strength is coming in picture. You also have to pursue your work. You also have to, think about the future. So this is where, the whole strength, which is not physical, your mental strength is helping. So I have got a lot of takeaways from you, Saurabh, genuine takeaways for me as well. And I'm sure our audience has also got a lot of insights and takeaways from you. So my personal takeaways are in marketing, if you are in marketing, you have to be adaptable, right? You have to adapt the new strategy. Marketing, which is an evolution of new strategies. So we have to be very active and young from the mind, because the young mind can wander and they can, find out the new things from the rest. Then the word of mouth marketing. So we have to work on the real content, on the real, value which we are going to add to the consumer. That is going to be in the top of the marketing methods list all the time. Lifelong learning, which is one of my core philosophy as well. So I've been learning a lot of things. Yeah, so this is the core philosophy of the life. Listening to your customer, can't agree more on this. I mean, you just cannot keep, throwing and keep pushing the things. It is what customers need. It is the other way around. Gone are those days where we used to, push the things. Then one of the very, core takeaway which I got from today, and I believe on that, the authenticity and being real and your sincerity, which is going to take you for the long run. Be open for the new ideas, for the new marketeers. So these are few things that is going to help me, and I'm all charged up and pumped up with the energy we had during the conversation. So it was very nice having you, Saurabh, and I would look forward to see more from you in the future, and wish you all the very best. Wish Inox all the very best for the future. May we all come out of this situation very soon and go to the better normal soon.
So there's one mantra which we have in Inox, that be safe, be happy, and be at Inox. So I think be safe and be happy is a mantra. So be happy.
Thank you, Saurabh. Thank you. And I would love to be in Inox very soon. Let's wish for that, And thank you so much for your time, Saurabh. It was lovely having you. Lovely having you.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.